And here come the athletes, so let's go down to the range. Quarterfinal number 3 here in Tlaxcala at the Hyundai Archery World Cup final. It's a matchup between Gellenthien and Pizarro.
Target number 1, representing the United States of America, Braden Gellenthien. On target number 2, representing Puerto Rico, Jean Pizarro. The line judge for this match is Hussein Nasiri.
So the USA's Braden Gellenthien is 36 years old and the world number 5, and clearly these two are very good friends as well. Jean Pizarro, 30 years old, the world number 11 from Puerto Rico, but this man here has won this competition 2 times, a 6-time stage winner, going up against a debutant who was a World Youth silver medalist in 2009, but no major individual medals as a senior. Can Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico change that here? It will be the Puerto Rican to start the match.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ooh, dropped point for Gellenthien. Pizarro with a 29, so he drops a point as well.
Yes.
Back in the centre of the target though for him for a 29. So 29's a piece.
Looks pretty cool, pretty calm, doesn't it, so far? Didn't see any big issues with those 9s.
Yeah, both recovering from those. Well, they're not even recovering, just not even flinching when they shot the 9s, just moved straight on.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between this and the last match is that they look like nice, well-executed shots, which just weren't perhaps dead centre when they went off, you know, so quite a difference, different reaction. They're maintaining their nice follow-throughs of the shot. See here, you see that pinky finger just rotating round.
The little finger for those whose first language isn't English. So both shooting 29, so it will be Jean Pizarro to get the second end underway. Couple of long holds from Pizarro.
Yeah, it just looks like he's struggling to make those shots go off, and that can happen under pressure.
Yes.
I think I noticed about Pizarro's shot. I don't know if he'll do it again. So his front hand and fingers in there were kind of moving on that last shot, tucking in a bit, thumb opening up. That's probably potentially going to change the pressure in the bow, and at what point does the bow go off as to where you've changed your hand position to? I'd worry about.
Yeah, look at the front hand of Gellenthien in comparison, very, very steady.
Just shows to me tension, really, that things are changing.
Yes.
It's a second 29 for a 58. Opportunity for Gellenthien here. Bags of experience.
Yes. Yes.
Puts it into the 10 as well for another 30, or for a first 30 of the match, I should say, and a 59, 1-point lead. And coach slash dad in the box with Gellenthien, Mr. Gellenthien. Family affair on the USA side of the shooting line.
Especially with his wife agenting for him as well.
Tanya shot in the women's competition. Steps up to collect the arrows, but very, very composed from Gellenthien. Very relaxed, and we said this for both of them after the first end, but the second end was a little bit more tricky for Jean Pizarro.
Yeah, I think it's just some tension creeping in there for him, but Gellenthien showing his experience.
So trailing by a single point, it will be Jean Pizarro from Puerto Rico to start the third end here in Tlaxcala. Men's quarter-final stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup final.
Yes. Yes.
Didn't look too happy with that one, but got away with the 10.
Yeah, he thought it was going to be just out.
Yes.
Well, confidently called a 10 in stadium, but that looked very close to a line cutter.
Yes.
Trying to drag that bow up, and it was just below the X.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, they've called it a perfect in the stadium, but as you can see, we've got Jean Pizarro's second arrow marked for a measure. He wasn't happy with any three of those arrows, but they all went into the 10. What are you complaining about, Braden?
Well, they weren't the closest group, were they?
So how big is that 10, Nikki?
It's pretty small. It's an 80 centimetre face. So I think it's 4 centimetres across, if I remember rightly.
It's pretty small, in other words.
Yeah.
Less than the width of a coffee cup.
Yeah, or is it 8? Might be 8 centimetres across the centre of the 10 there. 4 for the X ring, I think.
At 50 metres. Shooting 3 of them and being disappointed. Well, that's something of the makings of a perfectionist, you have to say. That second arrow on the right there at the bottom of the target for Pizarro was the one that we think may well go to a measure, but why? Hey, I got a 10 anyway.
Got away with it. Got to take those sometimes, because sometimes the good shots you shoot don't go where you expect.
That was a perfect score for Pizarro as well. That 9 was marked up to a 10, so 1 point in it still, and Pizarro shoots first in the 4th.
Yes. Yes.
With Gellenthien putting himself under so much pressure and shooting 10s, one half of me thinks, well, he's not going to miss the middle if he's continuing to be that disciplined. The other half of me says, well, is he putting himself under unnecessary pressure?
Yeah, I think he does put himself under a lot of pressure, and he's pretty hard on himself as well. You know, he tells himself off for shooting a wide 10. Well, oh, it's...
There is the result, an 8. Shrugged his shoulders then.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? He's been more annoyed about the wide 10s.
Opportunity here, but not quite taken from Pizarro, so that means that we potentially could be all level here, but Gellenthien needs a 10. He gets a 9. This is a big swing around in this 4th end, and I don't think we were necessarily expecting it, although that pressure that Gellenthien's put himself under. Well, first up, why the 8? Anything that you saw there?
I mean, they looked at each other and didn't know what happened. I'm not sure I know what happened either, but it's just, there is such immense pressure here, and sometimes when you are that experienced, you know what failure feels like as well, and sometimes I guess that can creep into your mind and things change, but he looks pretty clueless. Maybe a little bit of balance he did in the follow through, but he almost looked like he was pulling it across to the right, didn't he? As soon as he shot it, his brain kind of knew it was going to go that way, but unexpected.
Well, even his dad's looking on him with a bit of disbelief. But it does mean this one's turned around. Now, Pizarro's dropped 1 point in every end. Gellenthien shoots first. So potentially applying the pressure, puts it into the 10 at the start of the 5th. Now watch this one now. The pressure will flip from side to side here.
Yes.
Just about a 10. Pressure back on Gellenthien, but again, just about puts it into the 10. Pizarro now will be feeling it.
Yes.
Can he cling on? Can Braden Gellenthien put the pressure on again?
Yes.
He does finish with a perfect 30 for a 146. And now Pizarro, who's dropped a point in every single end so far, is on for his first perfect. Does he get it in? No! It's in the 9! And a 146 apiece. It was a real wobble from Gellenthien. A mysterious 8 as far as he was concerned in the 4th end. But true to form, Pizarro, who shot a 29 in every single end, put a 9 down for his last arrow for another 29. So we have another shoot-off. Obviously they've come through this with the same number of points, but there was an 8 there from Gellenthien in that, and just more 9s from Pizarro. Who'd you fancy for this?
I think it literally could go either way, because Braden is excellent, but then sometimes there's just these little hiccups, and I don't know, on paper it should be Braden Gellenthien should be good enough to win this, but 1 arrow on everything right now, to be on that podium, to get through, to have a chance of taking gold here, it's so much pressure.
Pizarro, of course, will shoot first in the shoot-off. And, well, if you take the closest arrows to the centre throughout the 15 arrows of the regulation match, there are quite a few inside for Gellenthien inside the best arrow from Pizarro. So he needs the best arrow of the match, really, for him to give himself a chance. Shoot-off time for a place in the Hyundai Archery World Cup finals, top 4. Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico to shoot first.
Yes.
Good 10, high right though, so there is room here for Gellenthien. That looks further away. It looks further away. It looks like Pizarro's going to go through here. Gets a pat on the back from his coach, and handshakes already. They're not even bothering to wait for the measure.
It's clear. I mean, it's touching the line, Braden, so we know it's further out. Wow.
So, Jean Pizarro has gone through to the semi-finals here in Tlaxcala. That's a bit of an upset for him, but by winning there, he's also leveled up their head-to-heads. It was 2-1 to Gellenthien going into this match, but now the Puerto Rican has leveled up to 2 apiece against his good friend, Braden Gellenthien.